This trip marks the start of 7 months of travel coming up. So expect to see a lot more travel videos and fitness content coming your way. James and I took a quick 3-night trip to Rome and definitely packed a lot in during that time. I'm going to give you all you need to know about heading to Rome for a short stay, but first, look how cute our apartment is. Don't mind me just blocking out James on the toilet here. We stayed close to Aventine Hill, sorry about my pronunciation, which happened to be really well located. We were really close to the popular Trastevere, and we were able to walk to all the sites and basically the whole city. Okay, first things first, I'm going to say bring some good shoes, because on the first day, bearing in mind we landed at 1 p.m, we clocked up almost 24,000 steps, and that did not slow down the rest of the time we were there, so bring some good shoes. In this afternoon, we walked to the Colosseum and the Forum from the outside, and we found this really great viewing spot, which I'll put on the map for you, and then walked to the altar of the Fatherland, up the steps, and we had a great pizza from Rossetti. We then head to the square for an Aperol spritz in the sunshine. After that, we head to the Trevi Fountains, which was pretty busy and definitely somewhere to watch your pockets, but really, really awesome to see. Then we head to the Pantheon about 6, but it was just closing, so we didn't go in. We then dragged our sore feet over to Trastevere, which I am butchering, by the way, which is an area full of restaurants and bars. It has such a great vibe, and we went to a restaurant called Tonnarella. We did have to wait about 20 minutes, but it was so worth it. The food was great. The staff clearly loved their job. The next day, our feet were rested and we were ready to go. We walked through the park where the Villa Borghese is, then walked to the Spanish Steps, and then we walked to the Piazza della Rotonda, which we did pay to go into, and the queues were around 15 to 20 minutes. You queue to buy a ticket and then you queue to go inside. And yeah, it was pretty cool to see. Food-wise, on this day, we had some amazing dishes. We found an awesome pork sandwich place called Latte, and I'll put all these places in the description, so check that out. There was a wait at that place, but it was so worth it. It was so good. We also had ice cream at Como Latte, which was so good.
Waffle cone with 2 scoops.
And then finally we ended the day with dinner at Osteria Da Fortunata, where they hand make the pasta in front of you. Just don't get there too late, because there can be a really big line. I think we were there about 6:30. Honestly, the food is so good in there. We had the carbonara and a meaty gnocchi, and they were both our favourite meals of the trip. We were so stuffed at the end, but we still had room for tiramisu too, and it was so good. You definitely have to check this place out. Sorry I don't have more clips of the food, by the way. This is my first travel YouTube, so stick with me. Obviously, I was too engrossed in the food. On the way home, we came across a perfect sunsetting watch spot, which I'll show you on the map, and we got there at the perfect time. The next day was our final full day in Rome, and we decided to head over to Vatican City. It was so busy there. I have never seen queues like it. So we decided not to get a ticket, but as you can see here, James has given us a little backstory.
This here is the Pope's crib.
And you can see a decent amount from the outside. Just be aware with this, you'd need to make sure your knees and your shoulders are covered, which mine were not. But there are loads of guys selling scarves to cover up too.
What happens in the Vatican stays in the Vatican.
Honestly, by this point in the day, we'd been walking a long time again. Yesterday, when we were walking through the park, we actually came across them setting up some show jumps, and I used to be a horse rider, so we decided to head back over there to sit down for a few hours and watch the show jumping. It was kind of crazy to see that in the middle of Rome. That evening, we had food at Otello, which had an amazing starter and Aperol deal, and to be honest, we had quite a few. We then met up with a couple of friends for some drinks, and then we woke up with a nice hangover the next day. On our last day, we head to the Forum and the Colosseum once again. This time, we went inside. I won't lie, in the heat, no wind, and a hangover, I was struggling, but James was loving it. We found a hack that there's a sneaky side entrance where you can skip the queue, but I would definitely recommend doing the Forum and the Colosseum when you have the energy rather than at the end of the day, because there was a lot of walking. Then finally we stocked up on pizza and arancini from Suppli Roma, which I really recommend. Then we got the train back and head to the airport and head home. We are heading to Las Vegas next, and we will be there for 6 weeks, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any more travel vlogs. Let me know in the comments if you are heading to Rome too.